Oh boy, I guess it's time for this now. Hi, everybody. Oh, let me make sure everything is what it's supposed to be. Gotta double check things. Sometimes we forget to double check those things till we're live. And there we go. Now we're back up to full volume. Okay, now no more leftist audio. Okay. Hi, everyone. Let me see. Now I need my chat back. Come get back chat. There we go. Okay, now we're in. Let's go, gamers. What's up? Hello. There's Psychoplebalian. I'm on Maidu Island. Or on Maidu Land, sorry. Goblin. Hello. Hi. And then there's the YouTube chat, as always. Just so you know, this is my website chat. I do not stream on Twitch, so this is not Twitch chat. It's my website, luxander.net/live. But yes, hello to everybody who is hanging out in the YouTube chat. Sophie, Naomi, hello. Yame Doe, 16V Turbo, 4G63. Dolly, Mabs, hello. Unapologetic Anarchist, Ben Jules. What's up, Ben? Riff says, can't hang today, gotta play in a matinee show. Ooh, or gotta play a matinee show. Hell yeah. You like it to stream. True. Looking cute today. Thank you so much. I visited some thrift store shopping situations recently, and I found this cute little shirt. I'm building a kind of new femme wardrobe with a specific goal in mind. So it's the first time in my life that I've ever pursued a particular style. I've been mostly for the longest time, I just wore t-shirts because I had dysphoria and I didn't want my body to be perceived. So I do have a bunch of graphic t-shirts that I still have and I just never really want to wear. Last stream, I did wear my No Gods, No Masters shirt. You know, you got to throw that into the mix every once in a while. Maybe I just need to find a way to style my t-shirts now that I'm comfortable with a femme presentation instead of trying to hide my body in a masculine presentation. Anyway, so I've like this kind of fall colors, the kind of greens, the it's like a dark hunter green that I'm a big fan of, and this kind of burnt orange color, some purple, like eggplant purple, and like wine red. Less so on those two, because I feel like it's harder to style wine red without it being kind of Christmassy. That's not what I'm going for. We're going for like Goth Forest Witch. So maybe I guess wine red always has to go with black in order for me to read that way. Anyway, Gayfesh, hello. I came up with a good title for our Generations podcast. Too many Kirks in the kitchen. True. That's good. Yeah, if you guys don't know, of the many things I have going on in my life, one of them is the Many Worlds Hypothesis podcast on the Gayfesh YouTube channel. Also is showing up via the collaborations function on my channel. I actually meant to check that earlier. This is reminding me. I wanted to check and see if it's possible to put a tab on your actual YouTube channel that is like a collaborations tab so that those can be easily found. So let me look at that really quick. That's something that I wanted to check. Okay, there isn't one currently. Let me go into my settings. But yes, we just did Star Trek Generations, which is a movie. And now we're doing the Star Trek The Next Generation era movies. And so this weekend I just watched Star Trek First Contact, which is the one with the Borg Queen. I couldn't remember anything about it, but I feel like I'd seen it before. But also everything that happened in it was a surprise. Well, to the extent that things that happen in movies can be surprising if you know anything about movies. But yeah, it was fun. And now we're going to record the episode talking about it tomorrow, so I'm not going to blow my whole load here. Can I add? No, that's interesting. So there is... Oh, wait. Wait, is it already? Hold on. Okay, collaborations is on the front page, but I don't know if I can have a tab for it in the top section or if that's just like, but I can move it up at least. What is this? Let's go ahead and remove that, whatever that is. And we'll move collaborations a little bit further up. There we go. Now everybody can see on my YouTube front page of my channel all of my recent collaborations. Cool. I've been going over all the DVD extras. Sometimes I have a question during the watching of the movie, and I'm like, Gayfesh knows the answer to that question. I'm not going to Google it. I'll wait and ask Gayfesh during, like, and I guess it's up to your discretion whether you want to answer this question now, but the one that really stuck out to me in First Contact was, I wonder what the name of that class of ship is, or of that ship that landed at the end of the movie. The red one. Because it kind of looks like a bug a little bit. And so I was wondering if it had a cool name, like a Mantis style ship or something. Crop them maybe. Fen, hello. Yes, so I did recently, yes, that one. I did recently deconstruct a shirt to kind of see what things would look like. So I took a t-shirt that I would never gonna wear it again. It's like going to become cleaning rags regardless. And I undid the stitches around the collar, and I undid the stitches of the sleeves, and I was just kind of like getting a feel, and like wore it and was like, how do I feel like this looks? What other modifications would I need to make and stuff? So I am interested in doing that. I just don't have, I guess I just don't have a lot of specific motivation for it. I'm starting to feel a little bit more motivated again. Y'all know I've been hella depressed for like, LOL, a couple months actually. And I'm starting to feel a little bit better. And I'm starting to feel like some motivation, and I'm like open to new things in a way that I usually am not when I'm super depressed. So, yeah. I bought 2 Weird Al movies, Cheech and Chong movies, and Tenacious D Pick of Destiny. Tenacious D and the Pick of Destiny is fun. It's very, very, very funny to me now that Tenacious D, like, they had that song Hollywood Jack in the Rage Cage, and then that kind of is literally what has happened. As far as I know, they haven't resumed their relationship, their working relationship anyway. Is Tenacious D broken up? Okay, they're not broken up apparently. Okay, well, that's the fucking AI overview. I don't care what the AI overview says. Okay, according to the Tenacious D subreddit 9 months ago, the band is on hiatus, but Jack Black did say that he and KG are still on good terms and that the D will be returning soon. So I guess they didn't officially break up, but it was very funny still that it's literally like Jack Black and all of his movie deals with Disney and stuff, that he needed to protect those financial relationships. And so he had to at least publicly denounce Kyle Gass. He made a joke about the assassination attempt. If you will recall the alleged assassination attempt, he like just joked about the guy missing, and like everybody was making that joke. It's not even that edgy of a joke. Everybody was doing it. So it was just real silly. Make the collar lower or something, not too sure. I don't know how to do that stuff. Yeah, that is one thing that is recommended, Fen, when I was reading about like how to stylize t-shirts, is you can just remove the top like collar part. Like this shirt has one. You can just remove the top collar part of a lot of t-shirts, because that part is separate. It's a different, it stretches differently, all this kind of stuff. So you can just go through with a seam ripper. Is my seam ripper on my desk? I feel like it should be. My desk is a fucking mess. I really need to come through here and clean everything. But a seam ripper is just like, it's a hook with a blade on the inside, kind of. Like, it's shaped like this. And on this inner surface, there is a blade. So it's like, it's just like sharp, pointed up this way. And you slip it under the threads, like this. And it just cuts the threads. And it's very useful. So, For that, you could like remove the sleeves off of a t-shirt and you don't have to cut anything in that case. So you're not compromising the actual fabric. Fucking, where is my seam ripper? I don't know what I've done with anything. Can't be here a whole lot, but it's always pretty chill. Yeah, I feel like even when I'm worked up, we still fundamentally have a relatively chill conversation, a relatively chill environment. And I appreciate you guys for helping helping me maintain a nice, chill, peaceful environment. I appreciate that you guys like share your interests in the chat and in the Discord. Patty Chris, hello, welcome to the YouTube chat. I really need to go to a thrift store for clothes at some point. Absolutely. I have found some really cute stuff. Like, you guys know the sweater that I have that's the same color as this, but it has the like the knitted braiding across it. I got that at the thrift store. And it's so fucking cute. It's so fucking cute. So I hope that you can find some cute stuff and some good warm stuff as well. Let's see. I haven't done this yet today. So just a little shout out right at the beginning. Since Naomi's in the chat. Every opportunity I can, I'm doing my best to share Naomi's GoFundMe. She is just trying to get some money for basic stuff. And you should share and give $5 if you can. Do it. Do it, do it, do it. I'm peer pressuring you. I haven't gotten a single donation yet today. The first donation that anybody gives today should be to Naomi's GoFundMe. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Cute earrings. Thank you. They're little mushrooms. I really struggled to get this one in, so my ear is still a little bit red. There's like a lot of scar tissue inside this one, and I wonder if it's because I consistently cannot fucking tell where the hole is on the inside, and so I end up having to poke around every single time I want to put an earring in this ear. It's like, it depends. Sometimes it's difficult on this ear too, but this one has a lot less like hard scar tissue in it. I think I just need to not ever not be wearing earrings. I need to get like, these ones are the ones that I was wearing, these little tiny rings, but they're so small that the curve is so intense and therefore it is hard to get in and out. So I think I just need to switch to like a slightly bigger size of this. These are the ones with the closure with the hinge. So anyway, yeah. That's why my ear's all red. If you're wondering, my ear's probably still red. Hopefully getting SSDI at some point soon. Yes. Amazing. I know it's difficult. Like, I've been talking about this more recently because I moved to somewhere where there's like way more homeless people just around. Like, of course, there were some back in Kansas, but it's like a lower population state. And I also didn't live in like a big city. So, or at least not in the main big part of the big city. So I didn't see a lot of it. But now that I'm in the Portland area, like, first of all, there's just like, I think more homeless people in blue states. I'm actually not sure. Well, blue states have a higher population. Actually, what's the difference in population between Oregon and Kansas? I don't know. Regardless, the situation is worse now also. So yeah, just like lots of homeless people. And so I'm thinking about it more. And like trying to help. There's like a couple people in our community who've been sleeping rough on and off. So Rain Raven, what's up? But yeah, just trying to raise more awareness, trying to help people where I can. I can only do so much. I did donate like $200 to the Human Rights Campaign, though. Hell yeah. I think there's always a conversation of how can we allocate our funds most responsibly or like get the most bang for our buck. And so there's just different levels of giving. You can give to the Human Rights Campaign. You can give to Baltimore Safe Haven, you can give directly to a person who's asking for money. And there's just like all kinds of different levels of involvement. What's the per capita rate for homeless in red states? That's the important thing. Yeah, I don't actually know. Per capita homelessness by state. Oh, weird. The AI overview lists Kansas as having one of the lowest rates of per capita homelessness. According to... Okay, well, that doesn't... Excuse me. California has the highest homeless population. That doesn't tell us per capita, though. Apparently, Mississippi had the lowest rate of homelessness per capita, while in Hawaii, that's the highest rate. Seam Ripper, do you sew? I've made over 100 quilts, taking a break to work on abstract art for a while. Hell yeah. I don't sew a lot. I crochet, and I have a sewing machine. I just don't do a lot with it because I don't have a space for it. Like, this room is the only space that I have to do exclusively what I want with the space. Every other place in my home is a shared space, and it doesn't really make sense to have a permanent sewing location set up anywhere in my home. So I only sew to repair and like incidentally. And I'm like, I'm setting my sewing machine up on a fucking TV tray, like a TV table. So yeah, it's kind of annoying, but you know, we're doing what we can. Live in Oklahoma. Plan to see Forrest and Justin and Seth in March. I'll be happy to meet them. Hell yes. Here is my recommendation for you for that. Where is it? Hold on. Wait, where did it go? Oh, wait, no. Again, my shit is so messy. I have like a pile of stuff right here that I need to go through. And I've been going through the pile and moving stuff. Did I finally throw it away? Well, anyway, wear a fucking N95 mask. If you're gonna go to an event, especially a skeptics event, wear an N95. Where is it? I had one on my desk. Okay, well, is it under my bra? No. Okay, cool. Okay, we've got a couple people commenting on homelessness and saying that... Okay, so extreme weather in red states makes it inhospitable to be out as a homeless person, sure. Also hostile laws about enforcement. Okay. So I'm assuming, yeah, people are either like they're more couch surfing or they're more like just, you know, hitchhiking and moving somewhere else. Bro, is that true? The Fuzzy Logic says red states have programs where they will give people a bus ticket to a blue city rather than paying for their housing and welfare benefits. That's crazy. The rates of houseless people that have one or more jobs is astounding. I saw a lady do a video of her tent and she works 2 jobs. Truly. Someone in the chat earlier, and this was also happening in my Discord server, says, I was just arguing with a lib online earlier who said that capitalism is not inherently exploitative and that economic systems are, quote, morally neutral. So, yeah, there was a discussion. Oh my God, hold on. I'm going to fucking lose my mind. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry. I know that the ADHD is strong with me today. This is an N95. This is a mask. You put it on your face. and it has two straps like this, and you put it on your face. And this is a piece of metal, and you mold it to the shape of your nose. And this part comes down back under your chin like this, and you wear it, and it creates a seal. And you don't take it off to eat or drink indoors, and you wear it, and you don't let it hang down off your nose because this one has a metal thing that keeps it in place, okay? And you wear your fucking N95 at least between now and January 15th, okay? Be smart this holiday season. Anyway, grumble. Yeah, someone asked in the YouTube chat, what is an N95? And I'm like, how are we fucking 5 years into a mass disabling and death event and y'all don't know what an N95 mask is? Ooh, girl. Anyway, there was an argument, and so I do think it's good to hang out in the Discord server, even though sometimes there are, difficult, frustrating dialogues. We have a specific channel for these kind of disagreements. So, but there was like a conversation happening in my Discord server about politics, and I'm not going to, single any person out here. But it was basically like, and I get, you can go in there and check if you want to. My Discord is publicly open, link in the description and up here on the website. But yeah, it was basically this idea that it was like, how can you be harming someone by not providing them something? Like, how can you, like, I don't know. And the conversation kind of touched on like scalpers and like, middlemen. What defines a middleman? Like, is a grocery store a scalper, or are they just a necessary middleman versus like somebody who buys up all the tickets and then sells them, like doesn't even sell all of them, restricts the amount that are in circulation and keeping the price super high and everything. And it was just like really frustrating because I think that neoliberalism tricks a lot of otherwise good people into defending horrific practices, horrific, inhumane practices. And I didn't get the opportunity to weigh in. Like, I didn't see I'm not as active in the Discord server as I probably ought to be. But I didn't hop in early enough to kind of say, like, do you realize, like, how silly it is? Like, if I have a lot of food and someone I see in front of me is starving and, like, they're severely, toward the end of that process, and, like, if they don't get food in the next 24 hours, they're gonna die. And like, they're at the point of starvation where the kind of food you introduce matters. Like, oh, how could I be harming them by simply withholding what I earned with my money, quote unquote? Like, it's just a fucking silly thing. And again, I'm not trying to rag on that person because I genuinely don't think, I don't know. I don't want to say it's like not a person's fault, but we are all in the process of deconstructing things that we have been taught. And the simple fact of engaging over and over and over again, even if you find that you continue to not agree, I still think that is like going to wear away at that person. It's like, why do we keep taking Andrew's calls? Well, we keep taking Andrew's calls because after 2 or 3 months of him calling every week, he has finally started asking questions like, what does reasonable mean? Or what do you mean when you say you reason something? I'm like, okay, now we're finally getting, okay. And like, if I get an Andrew call, that's what I'm going to focus on is like, okay, let's talk about how to think and process information. Let's talk about how to evaluate the truth claims that someone is making. Let's talk about what evidence actually is and means, because that's what I mean. It's like, even if it feels like you're beating your head against a wall with a person, people are always in a process of deconstruction. So when a neoliberal is in my Discord server going like, well, I think medicine should be free, but otherwise everyone, like, if you choose to arbitrarily raise the prices, then that's within your rights and your freedom to do. Like, basically that was one of the core things in the argument, that like, you as a person who owns the thing are allowed to set whatever price you want, and that is okay, basically. Like, the implication being like, that's morally permissible. Or like, and the feeling like, oh, how could it possibly be harm if I'm just not providing someone with something? Like, okay, because we did not get to that food example, which would have revealed how silly that proposition is. Like, of course it's harming someone if I have food and I could give it to them easily and I just don't. Obviously that's harm. Like if the person is starving, as in my example earlier. Yeah, so I think it's so sad sometimes that, and like part of that, like that's part of what makes deconstruction hard though, is this like casting of moral judgment on those positions. So like the neoliberal, if you tell them, hey, your ideology is killing people, that's a high threat to their self-perception as a good person. And this is part of what comes in with the masks and stuff. Like people, I think, don't want to acknowledge that they should be wearing a mask because they don't want to acknowledge how many people they could have harmed or killed by not doing it. Oh my God, Dr. Person Man, you fucked me up for a second. Was that person in Discord Martin Shkreli? Oh no. You got me. You got me on that one. People where I am in Italy and pretty much everywhere on the internet act like it's over. I mean, part of the trouble is that, like, specifically in America, we did not take it very seriously, you know? I don't actually know. I'd be curious in other countries, like, if, because I haven't looked into this very much actually. The rates of COVID are much higher in America, right? Why is that? Well, I think it's partially because you all took vaccination more seriously. And I think that you all take repeat vaccination more seriously. So I would guess, completely based on nothing, I would guess that in European countries and elsewhere in the world, the rate of boosted people who continue to get boosted is probably higher. But also, I don't know if any of your countries did institute new regulations, or even just a maybe even if it's not like policy, if there was a cultural shift on the corporate level to providing more air filtration and air purification in public places, then like the reason why you guys are not dealing with it could be because of those things, right? Whereas like a couple years ago when the quote emergency was declared at an end in the United States, it happened to coincide just in time with like, if the emergency had continued, like if the pandemic emergency if they had extended it, basically the quote emergency period, then it would have at that point been a requirement or incumbent on schools, for example, public schools, to start installing air filtration systems. And so basically, I can't remember all the details of this. I did a video about it at the time, I'm pretty sure. But basically, the United States declared the, quote, emergency period ended in order to shirk their responsibility for public health in terms of air sanitizing and that kind of stuff. But if you look at photos from the White House and the Oval Office over the past 5 years, you will have started to see the addition of, like, what is this kind of stylish looking box attached to the side of the wall? Fucking air purifiers, dude. So like in the White House and potentially in the houses of Congress, they're just like, yeah, we're going to have like the state of the art air purification. If we did that everywhere, it would be less of a problem. I wouldn't have to harp on masking. And like, honestly, the only reason I harp on masking is because you are all individuals. Obviously, the solution to public health problems is not an individual solution. Like, that's not going to solve the problem. But that is the control that I have, is to personally protect myself and tell you guys to protect yourselves. But really what we need is systemic institutional change in terms of requiring vaccinations and requiring air filtration systems on public buses, like public transit, um, in public schools, in all corporate buildings, like in all retail businesses. Deny COVID exists or is a problem and still spend your wealth to protect more than most can against it. Yay. Yeah. And like, obviously, not counting the fact that the president and Congress and all that get access to the weird experimental health care, that kept Biden going during a COVID infection. You're still taking Andrew's calls? Didn't realize he's not calling into every non-Matt show though, right? He's definitely not calling as much. We did take a break for a period of. I was like, I'm not taking your calls for a week or two. If somebody else is producing, I don't give a shit. I can't control what they do. But we did take a couple weeks off from taking Andrew's calls, and sometimes he's the only theist who calls. I don't know what the deal is, but it feels like we are getting fewer and fewer argumentative callers, or at least like the ones that we get are repeat ones. Like, okay, fucking Tom Riss is calling again. Stevie from Texas is calling again. Andrew from New York, or Andrew from New Jersey is calling again. So sometimes it's just like for the sake of the show, we have to take at least one theist, right? But also, like I said, it does, like, he did ask this most recent time, one of the most recent calls that I was producing and saw what he was here for. I was like, look, he's actually asking questions about like how to think, like what is reason, and I think that is worth it. Here in the UK, they've stopped doing wastewater monitoring and free rapid testing, so nobody gets counted as having COVID-19 unless they go to the doctor. But if minor symptoms last under a week, nobody goes. You only have to speak to the GP if you are unable to work for more than a week in order to get your sick pay. Yeah, yeah, and that's fair. Like maybe a lot of the COVID cases are more like a cold. So even in countries where it seems like the rate is lower, that might just be because like your populations are lower. Like what is the per capita difference? That could be part of it. And yeah, I'm still about 90% certain Andrew is saying whatever he thinks will get him attention and airtime. Maybe. That's possible. Also, asymptomatic and pre-symptomatic spread is a thing. The attitude of healthy adults don't need a booster entered Europe sooner, apparently. Oh, okay. That sucks. Oh, I know in the UK they've changed it to where, like, if you're an adult, you kind of just can't get one unless you are otherwise high risk. But also the list of things that consider you high risk is pretty expansive. So, like, I do not exercise the way that I should because I'm working through some exercise intolerance. If we had UV lighting, easily accessible and required vaccinations and filtered air, most of us wouldn't need to wear masks and isolate. Yeah, there's always a few immunocompromised enough that they will always need to take individual precautions, but not many. And I do still think it's worth it. Like, if we just did all three of these things, like wearing masks, cleaning the air, hypochlorous acid, purification of the air, requiring vaccinations. Like, I had a friend over for Thanksgiving. We did Friendsgiving. By the way, how was everybody Thanksgiving? Did you have a good time? Did you have to see people that you hate? I hope not. But so here's what I do when I have a friend over. First of all, we wore masks anytime that we weren't eating and like we would occasionally take it down to like take a drink or something, but we would like be in separate parts of the room when we did that. We hung out for several hours. I had the windows open. It was kind of hot in here because I was cooking a fucking turkey. And so I kept the windows open so there was fresh air coming in. And I had my swamp cooler basically humidifying the air with hypochlorous acid at about 250 parts per million. Boom. And it, like, obviously it's only been a few days, so I can't say like whether I'm sick right now, but I think that that was like a pretty comprehensive way of going about it. And I also used my betadine nasal spray. I need to get back in the habit of using the probiotic, but yeah, it's possible. As a Native American, we don't assign gratitude words to genocide days, especially the day of mourning. Totally. And like, frankly, we didn't do any kind of gratitude ritual for it. I think that the gratitude ritual should be in September. But yeah, there is a disconnect for sure between the modern holiday and like how people think of it, and like how like in terms of the mainstream versus like how it is felt by Native communities. And as a white person, am I thinking about the Pilgrims on Thanksgiving? No. I'm like, here's a great excuse to cook some food. Should I not do that on Thanksgiving Day? It's very ingrained in the culture. So I do kind of wish that I could do Thanksgiving in September. Oh my God, I need to stop playing with this. That's probably so loud. I really would prefer to do Thanksgiving in September, but it's like everyone around me expects to do something on Thanksgiving in November. And you have the day off, and everybody you know has the day off if you don't know people who work in retail. I use a Medify air purifier and also have the door and windows open, plus wear a mask when I have anybody over. I don't take it off when I eat. I go outside for that. Yeah, so like I was standing near a window whenever I was eating, and the like air was blowing in a certain direction so that like at least I'm not going to get sick. I'm standing next to the open window on the other side of a fan that is blowing the swamp cooler air that way. Atheists do Christmas. There's got to be a way to fix Thanksgiving, right? Yeah. Had lots of turkey. Yeah. I So I did the turkey, and I felt like I could have done a better job with it, but I don't know. Turkey also kind of sucks. I think next year I'll just get like I might get like an expensive whole chicken instead of a turkey, because I just think that turkey sucks. Like I just think it tastes bad. You know what I mean? So I think I'll just do a chicken next year. But I did the turkey, and I bought a pre cooked ham that we heated up. My partner made a cherry pie, which was wonderful, especially with a scoop of vanilla ice cream on top. Ooh, girl, that was really good. And our friend brought over funeral potatoes, which were delicious. And I made my younger sibling make the green bean casserole. So that was our Thanksgiving. I recently bought a dartboard because my partner suggested that I could get a dartboard, and that really feels like Thanksgiving and Christmas to me. Okay, so here's the thing. One of my uncles, whose house we would go to for holidays, not every holiday, but a lot of them, like probably at least one of the two major holidays every year. And they had a rec room in their basement, which had a dartboard and a pool table and a foosball table and like an entertainment center with like the PlayStation and everything set up. So for me, so I was little and I had like bigger cousins. So my bigger cousins were like playing pool and playing foosball and like aggressive at the foosball table and stuff. So I think for me, I would just be like in the area where the couch and the dartboard were. And so, yeah, dartboard is a big holiday feeling for me. So we played darts, just kind of set it up with a piece of plywood, basically. It was wonderful. I still COVID at a level above yours, but you're like way more safer than other people I know. I think you are just doing like different things, but this and like I would go outside to eat if I didn't have the option of standing right next to a window where air is coming in. Um, and like I know that the air is being sanitized. I'm not. I do sometimes run a filter, like think of Corsi Rosenthal filter, but I literally like am blasting hypochlorous acid into the air. It is actively purifying the air. So like I'm just kind of taking a slightly different collection of precautions than you do, but I think that I feel like I'm at a high level of COVID precautions in that way. Um but it's not a competition. I have a patio so I can go outside easily. Yeah. I just don't have a great space set up out. Like if I had a table, it's kind of hard to like hold your plate. Um Maybe I just need a little shelf. Like right, like I'll attach I should attach a shelf to my door and just go outside and eat it. Why can't we just have comfort food all year long? I know. Turkey is like crap chicken. Really, it's just not good. Didn't do Thanksgiving. My family be toxic. My pain too constant. My native lineage and history too felt. Completely fair. I've heard those Merv 1320 by 20 furnace filter cubes with a box fan on top work pretty well. Yeah, that is the Corsi Rosenthal filter. I basically, whenever I'm setting one up, I have one. Hold on. So what I do is I go to Home Depot or Lowe's or something, and I get one of these. This is a 20 by 20 furnace filter. I have a 20 by 20 box fan. I attach this to the back of the box fan. Like I could build a cube, but I don't have a box fan dedicated to this purpose. I have a box fan that I take out of my bedroom and put it over here when I need it. So yeah, this is like, it's a furnace filter that I just kind of attach to the back of the box fan and it sucks air through it. And yeah, this is the black one. Like there's, all the different levels of purification, and I buy like the maximum purification that I can buy at the store, which is, it's like there's like the orange one and like purple and black, and this one's the black one. Outdoors is fucking freezing right now. No, it's like a nice day today, I think. What is the weather like? Of course, I'm further south. Yeah, we have like some partly cloudy days, and then we're gonna have another kind of cold dip later in the week. So that'll be fun. I eat standing up, but it's like a bag of chips and not a plate. Okay, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Spent Thanksgiving recovering from FFS. Hey, congratulations! Congratulations! I hope that I feel like if you're recovering from FFS still, then your face is probably still pretty puffy. So I'm wishing you all kinds of reduced swelling for the coming holiday season. Have you looked into the pros and cons of UVC purification versus the acid? So UVC cannot be used at all with people in the room. Like, okay, so maybe I'm whatever, but okay, so if your goal is to purify the air, UVC can be used in like empty hospital rooms or like at nighttime when no one's around, but like it will give you cancer. So like UVC, yeah, it like it's great. um I've seen some things where it's like it runs along the border of the ceiling. So if it's like if the light is not touching you and your skin or you're a certain distance away, then that is okay. But yeah, I just yeah, for the purposes of home use, I don't think UVC makes sense, but I do think it makes a ton of sense for yeah, like if you're like we just cleared out this hospital room, blast the UVC lights for 10 minutes, whatever. That's a great use case. It's just yeah, it's not something you can very actively use when people are around. Oh, okay. UVC in an inside a filter, then yeah, absolutely. Um, I think those UVC filters they're gonna tend to have like numerous different things in them if you get like an expensive air filter. So it'll have like the HEPA filters, UVC pass through, charcoal, whatever. So those are good. If they're stacking multiple things on, then yes, absolutely UVC in an air filter, good stuff. But I would say versus the acid, I think you would have to have really good air circulation. Hypochlorous acid is what the acid is that I'm talking about. It's kind of like a bleach, but it's not bleach. It's it's fine to get on your skin. It's fine to breathe it in if it's below like 300 parts per million. So I got like a spray that's 500 parts per million, and I just pour that and with like half and half distilled water to cut it down to like 250. Um, why not you use UVC and acid? No, you would want to stack them on top of each other for sure. But if the question is either UVC filtration or hypochlorous acid, my personal opinion, and this is not really based on anything except my feeling of how things go in kind of like a intuitive, here's my general knowledge of physics kind of way. But like, this is the first time I'm living in a home without central AC or central air, right? And the temperature can be so different in one room versus the other. And the air quality and humidity can be so different in one room to the next, right? So I feel like, yeah, if you put a UVC filter in each room, even within the room, like how powerful of a fan is blowing, I would need to look at like what is the turnover rate. This is like one of those things that you can look at with filters of like what is the like how long does it take to purify every part of the air in a room that is these dimensions. So like how many times per hour does it cycle through all of the air in the room, right? Versus like a humidifier with hypochlorous acid, and like I guess you would still have to put one of those in each room, but like I just have an intuitive feeling like pumping an air purifier into a room and having that linger in the air is potentially more impactful than having an air filtration unit that goes through all of the air in the room in a certain, you know, like is it getting all of the air in the corners or in the ceiling? Like, so yeah, I just the best thing to do is like both. UVC only really makes sense when you can attach it to a whole building HVAC system. Totally, yes, yes. For a full building HVAC, totally. In my home, I like yeah, it would just be a thing standing in the middle of the room. I don't have money for it, just wanted to know for future reference. Yeah. You'll buy hypochlorous acid in a liquid form, and what it usually is for like spraying surfaces. It's a cleaner, but yeah, if you just evaporate it into the air via a humidifier or a swamp cooler, then and a swamp cooler is literally just stick a fan next to a bowl and maybe have like a cloth or a paper towel in the liquid kind of coming up the sides of the bowl so that when the air blows across, it's like disseminating it, it's evaporating into the air. Anyway, I know too many things. Hey, we got 69 likes. That's very good. We like that. Anything below 60 degrees is too cold, and anything above 80 degrees is too hot. It's garbage, and I hate it. The unenviable reality of living with autonomic dysfunction and a movement disorder. True, Dizzy. I lately I've been like hot when it's 75 degrees. I'm like, I go grab the air temperature gun and I'm like, how fucking hot is it in here? And I'm like, it's 75. And I'm like, I'm gonna die. It's so hot. Pro tip, listen to a wordless music playlist or playlist folder while also listening to Lux. Okay, so this, I have considered, should I get some like lo-fi beats type thing or ambient music even to play underneath me talking? Just like a little bit, so that if I'm quiet for a second, you don't think that the stream has ended. Does the acid react to other things in the air and neutralize itself? I feel like I've run into issues of that sort. I don't think so, but you'd have to look into it a little bit. Like, does it chemically bond to nitrogen or something and deactivate? I don't think so. It's like chemically pretty similar to bleach. And if bleach doesn't, I mean, I guess you've got like chlorine gas. But that's like another very strong cleaner. So I don't think that hypochlorous acid can casually react with anything that's just gonna be in the air. Later, Shanonymously. Great name also. Lo-fi beats can help the ADHD of us. Yeah, true. I fucking love that mug. I know. My mother-in-law bought this for me. I think we were at like I think we just were walking around a Home Goods or something, and I was like, that's a good mug, and she was like, yoink. She does that a lot. She's not very responsible with her money, but she's very sweet. Speaking of things that are exciting, about mugs. If you didn't know, I have merch. And so right now I don't have any sales going. I figured that I would probably wait until like after Cyber Monday and then do a little like holiday sale. I did just recently remove a bunch of stuff from the store, a bunch of stuff that people hadn't bought. But I just bought myself a sample mug. So I got a sample mug, I got a sample t-shirt, and a sample men's tank top because I already have one of these girl ones. Why does this say sold out? I need to fix that. It shouldn't say sold out. So I purchased myself some samples, and I'm really excited to get the mug because then I can plug in every video, like, hey, here you go. Because I don't have anything currently that I can plug every single video. Like, I would have to be wearing... This is the way that it works. You actually do have to do product placement of your own merch in your video, or it's technically against the rules for you to tag a product on your YouTube page. It's weird. Do you know that video game music is designed to help you focus? Ooh. That's a good... yeah. I know that there are lots of people who use video game music in their YouTube videos. Like, I'll be like, wait, that's Zelda. Like, watching some random video. Or, Gayfesh, maybe... I don't know if you'd be able to pick up on this, or anybody else who watches Corridor Crew. In a lot of Corridor Crew videos, they have music that reminds me of the game Kingdom. I think that's what the game is called. Let me double check. Steam... Oh, shit. Okay. Yeah, that shortcut broke a long time ago. I need to fix it. It's the one, it's like a 2D one, and you're on a horse, and you run back and forth, and they've got, like, Kingdom Come... Or no, not Kingdom Come. It's just called Kingdom, right? Like, Kingdom Classic, Kingdom 2 Crowns. Never played Kingdom. God damn it. I just, like... I'm like, that sounds so much like music from Kingdom, but... Nobody can help me. It's okay. The one study I just read about hypochlorous air washing says that the pH is 5. That could damage some stuff and damage, that could damage some stuff, you mean biologically within us, but it seems like the concentrations are weak enough not to make a difference in the home environment. Yeah. In the concentrations of like 500 parts per million, you shouldn't be breathing it in. But in the concentration of like 250 to 300 parts per million, it's supposed to be basically safe to breathe in. And I notice that I can smell 500 parts per million, but I cannot smell 300 parts per million. Are you okay? Do you need help? Hey. Yeah? He just tried to jump in my office chair and couldn't. So, speaking of this guy, I just spent $400 on this cat. Didn't I? I spent $400 on you, didn't I? Because he has arthritis. So we went to the vet and we got physically examined by the vet, right? And she said that you don't basically have knees. Yeah? Or no. It's that your knees are huge and arthritic and you don't have any muscle in your back legs now. So we got the flea treatment. We got a tapeworm medication just in case. We got a steroid to help him with how itchy he's been. We got, of course, like some regular vaccinations. And then I went and I purchased, but I don't think it's gone through yet because I didn't have a specific prescription. She was just like, here's a list of things. You can decide what to do from this list of things. So we're going to get him some gabapentin for his pain and a food that is going to help him lose weight and is also going to rejuvenate his joints. And we also got some treats that have joint stuff in them. So yes, if you want this dumb little asshole do you want him to have pain medication? Send me money. Send me donations this holiday season. Oh, also, I haven't yet because it's Black Friday and I refuse to fucking spend any money this weekend at Amazon.com, especially, but I'm just not spending any money this weekend. But I'm going to buy for him a heated cat bed too. He has he doesn't have a cat bed at all. And so I want to get one because, he wants to be in my lap all the time and he wants to be in my partner's lap all the time. More me though. So, and he wants to be warm. He probably feels better being warm with his joints because like being cold makes your joints stiffen. So yeah, if you want to help me with the money that I've already spent on my cat and the money that I have yet to spend on my cat, because she also recommended he needs to get his teeth cleaned and we need to get some annual blood work that my old vet just didn't fucking make me do any regular maintenance. We did not go to a great vet before, but yeah, so I'm hoping, you're such a sweet boy. I love you. I know that you looked really annoyed, but now you're not. Am cold, human, warm me, literally. He wants to be in my lap all the time. Or just my chair. He does just also want to be in my chair. I will get up from my chair and go to the kitchen. How much for a heated cat bed? Stick one on throne and I'll get it. I will see if I can do that. It's like $30, like $35 or something. The one that I was looking at specifically anyway. Oh my gosh.
MX_Dizzy got a tier 2 subscription. For baby.
Thank you very much, Dizzy. For baby. Yes, I appreciate it. He's trying to steal your ass heat. Yes, I think so. Like, I just get up and I go to the kitchen and I turn around and there he is in my chair. And I'm like, you fucking son of a bitch. Yeah, he wants my ass heat. Also, heat makes your muscles relax. Yeah. Yeah, and I brought my heat pad in here. And then I was like, he's going to put his claws in it. So I don't really want to put a heat pad on him. What am I doing? I'm going to add this probably $10 to the amount for the week. Thank you, Dizzy. Yeah, We'll open the treasure chest, which is not a mimic, if we get to the donation goal of $100, which is the goal every time. Oh my gosh, excuse me. I was looking at the acid stuff, and I guess you just have to avoid using it in thermal and normal ultrasonic humidifiers, and you want the droplets to be below a certain size. Hot tip from me to you, you do not want to use ultrasonic humidifiers anyway, because imperfections in the water, like you can, like even if you use distilled water, it's going to get dirty inside there at some point, and then you're fucking putting that directly in the air. You should already only be using swamp cooler style humidifiers that like have a fan and the fan blows across the surface of the water, or like it's wicking up. You want a normal humidifier anyway. But yes, particularly with hypochlorous acid. That's why I set mine up with a swamp cooler. I recently read that when they steal your chair, it's because they feel safe. Your smell is their comfort, and your warmth makes your smell all cozy and loud. That's fair. He's like, I can't be in your lap, so I'll just have all the benefits of the smell of being in your lap. Get Cat Chimkin heat lamps. Heat lamps. Yeah. Don't worry, I only use the ultrasonic ones for gasoline. Okay, hold on, let me see. I'm seeing, is this the right one? Oh, I guess it's on sale. Wait, is it actually on sale from $45 or was it $35 the whole time? That's the fucking question. God damn it, I hate this shit. It's so annoying. They recently, I don't know if anybody else uses Amazon, but there's a little button now that says price history, but when you click it, it's like, turn on the AI in order to access this feature. And I'm like, kill yourself. Like, don't try to get me to use fucking AI more and more and more. I actually just went through and like deactivated a bunch of AI stuff on my browser. Also don't like how hard it is to find like the share link button. Okay, here we go. Copy the link. Let me see if I can put this on Throne. Does anybody here use a non-normal toothbrush? Like an auto brush toothbrush? Because I'm curious about that. Oop, Dizzy sent me a picture. Boy! Boy! Look at that face. Yeah, your cat is like what my cat looked like when my cat was like 2 years old. Before he expanded, before he decided to expand his borders to conquer the neighboring kingdom. Hey Ember, how's it going? You can check price history on third-party websites like Camel. Okay. Oh, she's on top. Oh, this kitty is on top of a computer. I only just clocked that. Oh man. Yeah, I would not allow that. That would be a problem. Also, you're right next to all of this electrical. I didn't even clock that a second ago. Sometimes kitties do what they're not supposed to do, though. Ass gray from all the dust. True.
Oh, yeah.
My goodness. Thank you, Zoe, for the donation of $20. My own dumb kitty cost me $1,200 because his teeth started getting reabsorbed back into his gums, so he needed most of his teeth pulled out. It's weird, but apparently it's a thing that can happen, and I hope your boy feels better soon. Truly, yeah, like the two, so my plan of attack is, so I got him the supplements. Basically, the vet was like, I pressed her a little bit. I was like, what would you recommend as far as the joint stuff being in the food or using it as a supplement? And so, but we still have a bunch of his old food. So since I'm going to be transitioning him onto a new food, meaning it'll take a while before he's really getting the full amount of the joint goodness from the food. So that's why I decided to go ahead and get the chews for the joints so that I can, and that stuff recommends to start with like a double dose for the first 4 weeks and then go back to the like, so for his weight, because he weighs like 17 pounds, I'm supposed to do 4 of those chews per day for the first like 4 weeks and then drop down to 2 per day. And I'm assuming by then we'll have mostly transitioned onto the new food. But it's like, I think it's supposed to like flood his body with the stuff to rebuild his joints or alleviate the pain, if not rebuild. Like just, apparently he's very swollen. We need to address it. So that's kind of the plan of attack going forward. And I'm hoping to get the gabapentin soon so that I can also, I got him a super duper low dose. Dude, okay, this is an amazing thing that I just learned, which is that they make cat treat versions of cat medicine, Like I've just always assumed that if your cat needs to take a daily medicine, then you're going to need to find a way to train them or trick them into taking a pill every day. But no, you can get a treat version. You can also get like a capsule with the powder and like dust the powder on something else that is tasty and they want to eat. But you can literally just get fucking cat treats that are gabapentin cat treats, which is amazing technology. But yes, I added that $20 to this, so now it's 30 out of 100 to open the treasure chest. They should make cat beds that connect to PC water cooling loops. Okay, I was in the middle of doing something. I'm gonna paste this Amazon link and see if it will work. Whoop. Okay. So someone asked me if I could add the cat bed to my throne wish list, and it should be on there. So thank you if you want to buy if you want to buy that for him, and then I don't have to buy it. Contrary to popular belief, you can train cats. They just have zero desire to please. So Jaguar only respects my no because the consequences are get put on the floor with the dog, get squirted, or I will physically block you with my hand. Sometimes, though, she wants what she wants badly enough that she doesn't care. Yeah, you can't do negative enforcement with a cat. You have to give them positive enforcement to do the thing that you want them to do. Oh my gosh, it was so funny. So I was actually watching Star Trek First Contact with my partner last night, and we have like a love seat type thing. It's not really a love seat, but we have like a place that we can sit down, the two of us. Sorry, my throat is so dry. And the cat was on there too. Would you prefer to wait until after the weekend for ethical reasons? That's up to you. I'm making my choice to not purchase anything until after Cyber Monday. If you want to wait and you'll remember later this week, it's a gift. I'm not going to impose any additional anything on your gift. Thank you very much for even considering it. Like, he needs it. He'll be very happy. I hope that it satisfies some of his needs. It's supposed to be like a pressure sensitive one, so it only turns on when he's in it. So that's exciting. But this is like the best rated one that I was able to find. Man, my boobs would look really good with some of these outfits that I have on my throne wish list. Sad. Anyway, let me close this. I don't need that anymore. Per capita homelessness, don't need that anymore. Tenacious D, don't need that anymore. Okay. Saying no is still useful though, because sometimes I needed her not to run across the desk, stomping all over dishes and making them fly everywhere until I've moved them. Oh yeah, I was just saying the cat really wanted to be in my lap while we were watching the movie, but I'm wearing this new skirt. And he did get on my skirt, and then he did immediately put 2 holes in it. I don't know if this is the kind of fabric where they can like go away after washing, but like it definitely. So I was like, no, I don't need you over here. Oh, nope, there they are. There's the holes. I found them. Maybe the fabric will fix itself after I wash it. Because it's just like, he just went like through the stitches. But anyway, I was trying to keep him off my lap, and my partner was right there. I was like, you go over there. You be in someone else's lap. And he just kept being like, but I want to be in your lap though. And I was like, stop it. I don't want you right now. So I see these videos sometimes online that are like um the spare human, which one's the spare human? And it does kind of seem like we were having one of those moments of him being like, no, there is one lap that is superior and I want to be in. I just choose to live with the pet holes in my clothes. Some clothes, yes. Other clothes, no. Skirt that I just bought, no. My wardrobe is pretty limited. If it's one of my tank tops, I don't care. If it's my sweatpants, I don't care. Even my compression socks, I'm like, I've got little like fibers and shit all over them because if I put them in my lap, it's like I don't really have any control over that. I have to be wearing compression socks pretty much at all times. So yeah, like my compression socks get screwed up. But like like a sweater that I just got or a skirt that I just got with my very limited wardrobe of clothes that fit me and look good right now. Do you have an elevated perch spot to put the cat bed? Well, okay, so I do think it should be elevated because I'm kind of worried about having a heated element directly on the floor. But also, I need to not let my cat jump down from very high up. That was something that she said that we needed to avoid. So, yeah, there's a difficulty of like something being elevated but not too elevated, or it's elevated and there's a ramp, or it's elevated and there are steps. And I don't really have, like, our house is not that big. So anytime I'm thinking about adding something that's going to have a permanent spot, ugh. I no longer wear clothes I actually care about because I just exist in a state of blah, 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 blah. That's fair. I do camera appearances, so I am still trying to like keep my clothes looking pretty cute, I guess. Him no land hard on him hurtsy feetsies. Exactly. Are you a good boy? Do you love me? Yeah? Love me, say that you love me. Yes, yes, good boy. Yes. I need to actually put the flea treatment on him that I just bought. So I want a cat. I recommend it, honestly. But I will say, I think people think of cats as really low maintenance animals. And that kind of cultural belief has resulted in me being a very bad pet parent compared to like, I could be way better. You know, like I wasn't getting him annual blood work because I think my vet was just like, whatever, cats get stressed out in the car, like you might as well not bother unless there's like an actual problem. So that means that like preventative healthcare wasn't happening, and that does cost money. Like cat litter costs money, keeping the cat litter clean costs money, making sure their food and like buying them a cat fountain and the filters for the cat water fountain and all this kind of shit. Like to be a responsible pet owner, it does require resources. And you shouldn't get a pet unless you feel confident that you're going to be able to have that ongoing care. So like make sure that you understand that it is a responsibility and that the animal is not just going to like whatever, it can take care of itself. Like no, it does need to have checkups and potentially get dental care done on a regular basis. And here's another thing is like you do actually need to watch your cat poop and pee at least sometimes, because every time I go to a vet, the vet is like, are they peeing and pooping normally? And I'm like, as far as I know, yeah, but like I don't pay attention. So it is a little uncomfortable. Like, I'm gonna now make eye contact with you while you're taking a shit. I want to make sure it's coming out easy. You can put some insulation under it, maybe. Maybe not everyone just has extra automotive firewall insulation laying around. We do have, my partner brought home some, it's like, it's not, I don't think it's a temperature insulating thing, maybe a little bit, but it is a moisture insulation product that you put in a, it's like you use it instead of drywall in the shower to create like a waterproof layer. So we have some of that. I don't know if that would work though for this purpose. Steal a wood pallet from the dumpster, use the wood to make a thingy. Yeah, I do have a pallet of wood that has been, my partner broke down the pallet. Again, it's just about like, where the fuck am I going to put that thing? I literally do not have space to put a new thing that's going to sit on the floor or on a surface. Like, I do not have, I'm already like, where is the cat bed going to go? Like, it's going to have to go in a hallway or something because I don't have a spot for it. If it's gypsum based, that could be good. Okay, cool. I had to put my dog to sleep a few months ago. Now I'm thinking about getting a conure since I'm allergic to cats. I could not tell you anything about owning a bird, except that I don't like personally living with a bird because they're loud. They want to say hello to the neighborhood crows at 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm not a fan. As far as I know, when they ask that, they usually mean in terms of the number of litter box visits and volume of output, i.e., are they going more or less often or producing more or less solid and liquid waste? Sure, but that when I'm saying like, yeah, you need to, like, what I'm saying is you need to pay attention to that even. I don't pay that much attention to what he's doing in the toilet. But like, and also making sure that they're not struggling. I'm not responsible for cleaning the cat box in my home. A cardboard box is a great cat bed. That's true, Jamie. I am specifically talking about getting a cat bed that's heated because my cat has arthritis. But every time I get, actually right now, I recently got a UPS, the battery backup thing for the line, for my computer for the line. And he has been sitting on top of that box. So anytime we get a new box, I unbox something, I open something, I will leave a box in the floor for him. So we have like a rotating, because it gets old after a while, right? Like they have one box and they sit in it and then they get bored of it. And like, well, they're like, I don't like this box anymore. So we have a rotating, every month or two, I'll take a box away and break it down and put it in recycling, and I'll put a new box out, and he's happy. He likes the variety. The eye contact thing was a joke. I was joking. Do not get a parrot unless you want to sign up to take care of a toddler with a bolt cutter mouth for 60 years. That is accurate. I need to 3D print some animals. No maintenance. You can pretend they love you and they just sit there and stare judgmentally. True. Under the covers nestled against your legs is a pretty good heated cat bed. I don't allow cats in my bedroom at night. I don't sleep very well in the best of times. I already sleep with a man who keeps me awake all night with restless leg syndrome. I don't do cats in the bedroom at night. In addition, that's only at nighttime. It does not solve the problem where he wants to be in my lap constantly during the day while I'm trying to work. And like, he's heavy. So I'm like, I have to like, okay, so he's so fat and he's going to be a big cat anyway. Like even if he loses weight, which we are going to try to get him to lose weight. So I have to sit cross-legged in order for him to fit in my lap. And then that gets uncomfortable after like 20 minutes. And there's only so much rearranging I can do before I'm like, okay, you have to get the fuck out of here. So that's the problem that we're hoping to solve with the heated bed. Dizzy is suggesting instead of getting a conure, you might consider getting a pigeon because they're a lot less difficult and cantankerous than the parrot would be. Pigeons can be extremely affectionate pets, and there's a lot of rescue places that will let you foster a rescue pigeon to see if you click with one. That's an interesting proposition. Because, yeah, that's the issue with pigeons is that they were domesticated and then released, and then they don't know how to do basic things like build a nest, right? So pigeons are great animals to keep as a pet because they're domesticated. Also, they're cute. Couldn't be me. I don't like fucking birds, but, I get it. I also don't like rats. I would never own a rat, so we've just each got our own little preferences. Dizzy says, you can get a cheap mesh animal playpen to put your pigeon in for its enrichment time. However, you cannot do that with a parrot because the parrot will tear their way out. My friend had a blind and deaf cat that would wander around bumping into walls like a Roomba. No. It did have a little cat stairs up to the bed, though. So I know they make that sort of thing. My husband is talking about making a ramp for the cat to get up on the bed. So maybe not steps, but like a carpeted ramp. I had a pigeon land on my arm and steal a Pop-Tart. No. It's like seagulls, seagulls and the fact that they'll just come right up and steal shit out of your hands. That's crazy. Yeah, no, I don't want to deal with rats. The lifespan is super short. If it's only like 3 to 5 years, that's too short. And they have lots of cancer and lots of health issues, and you can't take them to just any old vet. You have to take them to an exotics vet that's more expensive. I agree. 15 to 20 years is a good lifespan for a pet. Our other cats only lived I want to say 11 and 13 years respectively. And he's now 15. And yeah, I want to make sure that his sunset years are good. I think he's randomly going to live forever. I think I just get the sensation this cat is going to randomly live to be 22 years old for no fucking reason. So, yeah, if he's already at this level of decline at 15, we want to make sure we're making life as comfortable for him as possible. My ex had a pigeon that eventually got passed to a mutual friend who now also hates my ex and has unfriended them, long story. And her name was Egg, and she was a sweetie. She passed recently, and my friend is distraught, but that's how close she was with the pigeon. Pigeons can be that cuddly and loving. A friendly pigeon that loves you is a delight. That's wonderful. I had a cockatiel sit on my hand at the zoo because I held out a Milate stick. Yum. I had one time a 10-minute interaction at the pet store with a pink parrot. What is that? She was big. She was the size of an African gray. Okay, she was yeah, I guess she's a pink cockatoo. How big is a cockatoo? Yeah, okay, it's a pink cockatoo because she was big like an African gray. Anyway, I had a 10-minute interaction with this bird who desperately wanted me to pet her, but there was a no touching the animals rule at the thing at the time. Maybe still even, but Yeah, that was like the longest interaction I've ever had with a bird that I enjoyed. She seemed like a sweetheart. Google Letterbetter cockatoo. Letterbetter cockatoo. Maybe. All of these are showing it with the head crested, and mine, not mine, oh my god, the one that I saw was, I guess I could look at this video, but I'll do that. Yeah, it's like I didn't see her crested, but this does seem like pretty close to what it looked like. Pink cockatoo. Leadbetter, not letterbetter. Okay. Leadbeater. Growing up, my family was the home for wayward animals, so I've had everything before: birds, cats, multiple dozens of fish, multiple dozens of dogs, fish, turtles, you name it. Nice. It just seems like even within birds, that's okay. Did you have finches? Because like, I have a family member who keeps finches. Cockatoos don't always lift their crests. Well, that's what I'm saying though. Is like, I didn't see her crest up, so if this distinctive feature was present or not, I don't know. But I think she did have it coming out the back of her head, so maybe it was like, definitely not a totally smooth bird head. Hales says, and this is a good recommendation, says, I would recommend getting 2 birds that you know get along well if you're not able to give them a lot of social time, because parrots and conures are really intelligent and social animals, and they will not be healthy without a lot of attention. Yeah, get like a bonded pair. In the U.S. pet trade, I would expect a Leadbetter sooner than a Gala. Gala? Oh, wow. Wow. That's so pretty. But no, I don't think she had gray wings. I think she had pink wings. So I don't think it was a Gala. I'm going to go practice Spanish. Hell yeah. My husband and my friend and I were all talking about like, what is the best way, like if we're going to buy money, like if we're going to spend money on something, buy money. If we're going to spend money on an app, how can we learn to speak Spanish? Because we live in an area where there are literally like, sometimes like in some of the cities in the valley, there's like 50% Hispanic population. It would be hugely beneficial to be able to speak Spanish. I just keep getting annoyed with Duolingo and the fucking emotional manipulation of the insane crying face that they put on it. Even if you've been doing it regularly. Oh, the donation earlier was actually... what did that say? 25? Oh my god, please. I'm gonna fucking lose my mind. Yeah. $24 earlier. Which means we're at $44. I don't know how long this stream is going to be also. Because I definitely woke up a shit ton last night. Ooh, okay, here's another thing I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about getting a wedge for under my bed to elevate the head of the bed, because that can supposedly help with like sleep apnea and POTS. I'd like to buy $1 million, no kidding. Yeah, I think that's kind of what she looked like. I don't know, she was real pretty though. VR chat can be great for language learning, TBH. I'm not going to spend any time in VR chat though. But I've been like having trouble sleeping, and they sell foam ones on like Amazon. I have an adjustable bed. It's definitely nice to be able to lift the head of the bed sometimes. Yeah. I bet you could fabricate one with that palette you mentioned to test out. Maybe not forever, but a good test. I'm more likely to just buy the wedge from Amazon. It's supposed to go under the mattress, and it just is the whole length of the mattress at a gradient, as opposed to a wedge pillow, which is only going to be this part of the bed. Or adjustable beds are often also like this, which doesn't work for me as a side sleeper. I would break my spine in half. But just under the entire bed, a piece of foam like this. I'll just return it if it doesn't work out, you know? I would wonder if the mattress would slide with a wedge, but that sounds like a great idea. I think because it's foam, that there's friction. But yeah, it's supposed to be very helpful for orthostatic intolerance. I've slept on at least 2 pillows since I was a teenager and have snored since I was a preteen at least. Yeah, I've recently started wearing something inside my nose that holds it open. Cat bed on the way. Thank you. The baby appreciates it. I'll take pictures and post them. You can use carpet or rug tape to keep it from sliding. My husband knows all about that. Also, bonus fur baby pics in Discord. Fur baby pics in Discord. Where are they? I will find them. Oh my goodness. What is that? Oh, you DM. Did you DM? Perhaps you are not in my Discord server. I see. Oh, baby. Nope, wrong tab. Put it over here. Baby. Oh my goodness. She looks so soft. Oh, what a sweet baby. I love cats. Thank you guys for showing me your babies. It makes me happy. Cats are good. What a bab. What a little baby. Is there another one? There was another one. Baby! Oh my god. Oh, what a sweet kitty. Oh, the little feet. Oh, I love cats so much. You can tell that cat hangs out in that bed. He got cat hair. Oh, the little pink nose. Oh, this cat does have the same kind of facial markings that my cats Lucy and Deegan did. Like the tabby on the top, and then like the nose and stuff is like white. Oh, and then like the white belly with the silver tabby. Oh, baby. I adore. I have both cats and dogs, and my cats are the boss of everyone, and they know it. So my sister-in-law has 2 dogs and some cats. And I think the dogs had just maybe a couple of times where they were a little too bold with the cats and tried to play with the cats, and they got popped in the nose. And then my partner's cat, Deegan the Mighty, who was the sweetest little fucking angel, we tried to introduce them. And of course, you know, Deegan the Mighty's got like, his tail is fully up, and he's like, hey, I want to be friends. Like, I want to smell you. Let's like, and the dogs are like, like they just couldn't handle it. Just absolutely terrified of cats. I'm like, I guess that's right. I guess that's correct. My bed shall remain against my wall because I feel extremely vulnerable and anxious when I'm not against a wall. Yeah, the problem when you sleep with another person is that if the bed is against the wall on either side, then one of you has to crawl over the other one or crawl to the end of the bed in order to get out of the bed. So I have the head of my bed against a wall. It also limits how much like dressers and stuff you can have in a room. if the long side of your bed is up against a wall. But, oh my God, my throat is so dry. This is why I hate sharing a bed. Honestly, I kind of hate it recently. But that's because like I'm trying to get my partner into a habit of taking magnesium. So like I'm in that phase where I'm like I don't want to have to remind him all the time, but also if I don't remind him, he doesn't take it and then it fucks me over primarily. Like he says that he also doesn't sleep as well when his legs are restless, but then like fucking get up and go take your magnesium then. But that doesn't happen. So he's not waking up enough to do that, or I don't know. But whereas I woke up in the dead ass middle of the night last night and was like, what is wrong with you? It's maybe a little bit petty, but in order to validate myself in the past, I've opened my stopwatch on my phone and hit the lap button, and it's like every 15 seconds. I'm like, ooh, I need a new mattress. We really need to get a new mattress that doesn't transfer any motion. Bed is mine, me sleeps here, no like share. True. That one King of the Hill episode where Hank revealed that their bed was two smaller beds makes a lot of sense now. Just squish them together. I do see that with the adjustable beds where they're like the two different mattresses squished up together. My boy cat randomly beats up my boy dog because he resents his existence. The cat is 6, the dog is 3, and the cat still is upset he joined the family and is only now sometimes being nice to him. Introducing animals together is a tricky situation. You really shouldn't just like throw them into the same house together at the same time. Like when you get the new animal should be locked in only one room most of the time and gradually allowed to interact like under the door in the small space under the door, and then gradually introduce them fully, which is like not most people's fault that they introduce animals in a way that almost definitely guarantees that they're going to be upset for like the rest of their lives. And I've done this too. Like when we brought Mitternacht home, we did not correctly habituate him with the other two, and he was always the odd man out for years and years and years until they both died. And then he seemed to be enjoying being an only cat. Babe, wake up. Time for your daily magnesium. Takes chunk of magnesium metal out of mineral oil. True. Cats randomly beat each other up even when they're friends for years. Yeah, but there's like friendly play and there's like unfriendly play. Lucy did not like to play. Lucy didn't want, he was like, fucking leave me alone. I'm gonna lose my shit. I actually have a picture on my photo reels of like, we have some bar stools, and bar stools, they have the bars coming down and then like the bars going across. And I have a picture of Lucy standing inside the confines of the legs of the stool, and Mitternacht is standing outside of it trying to play, and Lucy's like, I'll fucking kill you. Like, he's not having it. He's not in the mood. He did not like it. He did not like to play with other cats. He would play with a bird, like the toy. If you would, do that, he would play. He would even play by himself. Toward the end of his life, I had taken the stick part of the dangly bird toy and just like stuck it in something so that it would dangle, and he would go over and play with it. But no, he did not want to play with like another cat. Serious question. What if leftists secretly infiltrated MAGA to influence it from within for harm reduction? Do you think it would work? I don't know. Fucking, I guess try anything at this point. I don't know, man. Like, Okay, here's my actual answer to that question. You know what we're doing? You know what we're doing again? Do you know what we're doing again? Do you know? Do you know what we're doing again? It's limits to growth. According to research from 50 years ago, we are currently on track for a predictive model that ends in the economy collapsing completely, the global economy collapsing completely by the year 2040. Girl, I don't think you have to worry about the Republican Party. It's gonna fall apart on its own. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to do. Here's what you have to do. You need to put your energy, your research, your money into making sure your local community has a lot of mutual aid set up. We need to start living like anarchists now. And by that, I mean we need to start living like people who no longer have a central government. Because it's going to collapse on its own. We don't have to do anything. Okay? So, just let that thing happen. And because that's going to happen regardless of what we do, focus your attention on what things are within your community. Start participating in a community garden. Start volunteering at the homeless shelter. Start going to city planning meetings. Vote for your mayor. That's what you should care about. I know, Dizzy. I'm gonna be like, hey, you need to set an alarm for this because I'm gonna fucking kill you in your sleep sometime. I don't support degrowth. There are poor countries that need economic growth. Okay, so I'm not saying I support degrowth. To be clear. Oh, I mean, I think I do actually support degrowth, but what I'm saying is it's going to collapse. Like, it's going to collapse. You don't have to do anything. We are on track for global climate collapse and global economic collapse, whether or not you do anything. So because those systems are going to fall apart, regardless of what you do now, you should just start looking locally at what you can do to actually help your local situation and help other people get to places where we have more resources to help them. So, God bless America. Like, that's, whether or not you support degrowth is going to happen. It is going to happen. What was the name of the thingy? It's the Limits to Growth report. The research has been revisited multiple times, including as recently as 2020. We are on track for the worst case scenario model. Jammed Tomb says, I am part of a group that's working to infiltrate right-wingers with a true narrative. Not so much infiltrating, but making sure they can't avoid the truth. So there are things like that happening. Okay. It helps to associate the new animal with good things. My boys did not enjoy the addition of a new puppy with Mossy, especially when she started to get big and Bradley demanded all the attention. So it took a lot of deliberate and intentional sessions of giving the boys attention and pats and treats, and sometimes breaking up squabbles. Cody and Kai didn't feel the need to fight each other anymore once they knew they would still get pats and treats. Cody actually gets excited now whenever we play fetch with Mossy because he gets pats while Mossy chases the ball. Hell yeah, hell yeah. Also, local outreach is a lot more fulfilling. Gayfesh and I went to the local No Kings Day and then a community meeting after, and that enabled us to do a lot more good than a lot of worry about the federal government. Yeah, totally. Like, my municipality is, I guess mayoral races and other local stuff happen like pretty often. So there's a couple of different county level things and city level things that are going to be coming up soon. And so I'm now looking, I'm like, who am I going to support for mayor? Or who do I want to be on the city council? And those things matter, right? Like, vote on things like, let's put more money into public schools, or let's put more money into the library system, or let's put more money into the roads. Local shit. We infiltrate the comments with truth and make ourselves sound vague. Like we might maybe believe like them, but we got this one question. Basically, we troll them in much the same way they troll us. We return their tactics of, I'm just asking a question, only our question leads to the facts that they want to ignore. I like that. So it's like you're just online counteracting the misinformation. I guess I kind of do stuff like that too. I do kind of at least pretend to adopt some of the same beliefs as the person that I'm talking to, or I'll say for the purposes of this discussion, whatever, and be like, well, okay, so if we all agree that freedom is important, then why shouldn't I have the freedom to take hormone therapy or whatever, whatever the fuck it is. I get a lot of great phrases I can use against them from watching The Line and learning how these people actually think. It can be exhausting, but I think we need it. There you go. If there's another point toward like why should we keep taking calls from people who don't seem to want to change their minds, it's because it's arming you all to argue better, which is good. Being diurnal is hard. Oh, I know it. Couldn't someone argue that degrowth requires people to lower their living standards? If consumption leads to economic growth, then lowering consumption leads to degrowth, no? So degrowth is a really complicated, and I'm going to be completely honest that I haven't put a lot of thought into it. I mean, it certainly requires you to change your living standards, whether that is a lower living standard. Like, is it a lower living standard if you can't fly to Europe tomorrow? Like, is it a lower standard of living if you can't get chocolate easily? Like, is it a lower standard of living if all of your food is fresh and local? Is it a lower standard of living if your community provides robust childcare through a communal system? Is it a lower standard of living if you know that your taxes or any revenue that's created is going to directly benefit your community and not be siphoned up to the top 1% and like spent on like completely unnecessary military aggression across the globe? Like, it certainly would require people to change their expectations for their standard of living. And at the same time, like when I'm talking about degrowth in this context, basically what I'm saying is, regardless of whether I support degrowth, it is going to happen. Like it is going to, like the climate is collapsing. Governments are not going to be able to continue functioning. At least the American government is not going to be able to continue functioning the way that it is. I personally think that what is happening right now at the federal level is that it's being gutted like Jo-Ann fabric. Like someone bought it and then liquidated it, and now there is no more Jo-Ann fabric. I think that is the purpose of the technocracy that we've got going on right now. And like, so when I say degrowth is going to happen, what I'm saying is like the systems that are upholding like this giant nation, this huge span of ground that we all stand on, like it's just untenable. The way that we've been doing things, the American government is inherently capitalist. It's tied inherently to capitalism, and capitalism prioritizes growth to the degree that it will kill all of us if it can. They would like to like rule over a land of ashes so long as they get to be the ruler of it. So, yeah. So when I'm saying degrowth, I'm not saying like, let's choose to live in a commune. I think that could be good, but I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is everything's going to collapse and you are going to need to rely on your neighbors. So you better start building those relationships now. Does that make sense? All right, Dizzy. I think there's a balance between the street epistemology approach of getting them to think critically about their own nonsense beliefs versus using Socratic questioning directly to attack their narratives and make points. Yeah. Dizzy also says, if you have effort to fuck with the MAGA net, go for it. But that shit kills me inside. Don't do this if you find it killing your inner hope. You have to keep that sanity intact. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Jammed Tomb makes a good point here. When we're talking about building a narrative, we're talking about like using language that's going to appeal to the average American. And like what the words that you use are actually really important because people will be like, "Oh, I hate Obamacare, but I love the ACA." And like, okay, so we have to find a way to communicate this to people. So I like this idea. Instead of referring to it as degrowth, you could say, we need to regrow our communities, or rebalance our priorities, or we need to focus on our families and our communities, right? Like using that language that a right winger would use. Of course, a right winger is going to think, yeah, I really should support my family and my community. They just don't think of, like, I think of homeless people as being part of my community. They just don't think that. This is the problem with right wingers. And I ran into this actually with a patriarch of a family some years ago who is very generous with people who he identifies as being deserving or in his community. So like, those people who are really generous with their family members and they're like, yeah, I'll buy you a car or whatever. Or they'll tip the pizza man $50, but they are against public welfare services, because they want to be able to personally means test. They want to be able to personally determine who is deserving. And so they don't want to give to people who they can't personally look at and be like, I like you or not, basically is how it turns out. But yeah, you have to use words that they are not going to immediately shut down. Like if I say communism, people are going to be like, what the fuck? That's terrible. But if I say, oh, hey, in the TV show The Last of Us, because there's no Central American government anymore, these people had to build a community together. And in order to avoid, issues of like grudges and stuff, or like, in order to avoid conflict, they have decided together to have a system where no one in particular owns the cows. Everybody has to take a turn taking care of the cows, and everybody gets to benefit from the full value of the cow's existence in the community, right? Isn't that great? Like, that they all work together and everything. Like, you just have to avoid using the scary words because people are stupid. I argue with the internet for sport, but it's not for everyone. Yeah, I try to keep it limited. I've been active more in my comments recently. I mean, maybe just because I've posted some good videos that got a decent number of comments, but I've definitely been a little bit bitchy in the comments sometimes. I'm trying to keep it in control though, because you never know if you call someone a dipshit in the comments, you never know if they're going to decide to dox and stalk you. So I try to keep it like within a certain limited range. But yeah, I'm definitely like arguing with people in the comments more than I normally do. I do a little back and forth and then I'll say, hey, you know what? We should continue this conversation when you call me on my call-in show where I get paid. This is something I say a lot, that how we treat the homeless matters because they're our neighbors. The crazy lady who shits in the woods is still a human being who lives there, even if she scared the shit out of me once when I ran into her back when I could walk my dogs. And anyone here deserves to have a warm, safe place to stay and sleep and shit. She's not shitting in the woods because she wants to, but because she has to. Yeah. And I mentioned it before, there's some guy who keeps fucking popping up on my Facebook feed, and he like films himself standing in front of somebody's tent. So he films himself standing in front of someone's home. Sometimes they are home and he's talking about them while they're sitting right there, and saying things like, "Oh, they choose to be here, blah blah blah." These people just don't want to get better. No amount of housing first is going to help these people, whatever. And like, yeah, sure. First of all, you're exploiting someone to make content. Gross. And also ignoring that, like, yeah, maybe this person doesn't want to stay in a shelter because they've been sexually assaulted, or maybe this person is on drugs and can't kick them, but the programs available require them to get clean before they get housing. And it's like, okay, it's kind of hard to solve the drug problem when you don't have housing or a job, or you don't know where your next meal is coming from or whatever. And it's just really disgusting. So yeah, that is a thing that has changed my perspective. My thing is, I'm still like scared of strange men. So like, regardless of whether someone is homeless or not, like I don't want to really go up and talk to strange men. But I do think that we should be treating our homeless neighbors like they are neighbors, like they're members of our community. Exactly. Yeah. They choose to be here. No, they fucking don't. They're there because nobody gives them a way to be in housing while being fucking addicted. Or if if you had 2 jobs at the time that you lost your home, at the time that you got kicked out of your apartment or whatever, that working doesn't really benefit you. And like housing is still going to be very difficult to afford. There's so many different things that cause people to be like, I'm just going to give up. And that's not like a moral failure. It's because you're fighting an uphill battle, an impossible battle. It's real shit. Agree, addiction isn't a choice, it's a public health issue. I saw some city, was it the Multnomah County prosecutor, I think, who was saying that they're going to start prosecuting these, like any person who like is using drugs and isn't in a rehab program or isn't following through with being in the rehab program can be criminalized. It's like, God, that's so shitty. We're just trying to find excuses to criminalize people. Got to keep those jails full of somebody. That's crazy. I appreciate the cultural exchange going on in the YouTube chat. Somebody said that they're from the Chickasaw Nation and now they're speaking to one another in beautiful, beautiful native language that I don't know the name of. Is it Chickasaw? I don't know. Men are men, homeless men included. Homeless people know this well. Homeless women have it so rough. There's plenty of predatory homeless men they have to watch out for, but that's not a homeless thing, it's a men thing. Men are like this everywhere, from fast food kitchens to boardrooms. Yeah. I'm just saying, like, I do react with some amount of anxiety when I am presented with, like, unpredictable men. And that includes, like, okay, I've had a perfectly clean man who probably has a job, is in the grocery store, and is like beefing with the skinny teenager who works at the cashier's register, being like, what are you looking at? What? And it's like, okay, so I'm made unsafe by men who seem to be fully employed and clean and everything. But like there are parts of town where I'm like, I don't know that I would be comfortable going through that area for a walk, because, or like a walk by myself. If I had a dog, maybe. But there are some places where I'm like, I know that there are a lot of folks living there, and I don't really want to be there because it's not like next to a street that's a main thoroughfare. Like, I want to be visible to people. I don't want to be caught on a nature trail by someone. So just knowing that there are a lot of men outside in a particular area gives me an amount of anxiety. which does suck because it means that like those certain places where I'm not comfortable walking, but this is just like being a femme. So it's, I just didn't think about this for a long time because I was presenting more masculine, and now it's actually kind of weird inhabiting that space again and feeling worried. About just being in public. Oh boy. What does everybody have going on this upcoming week? It's December. Oh my God, it's December tomorrow. December. Oh man. I think I'm going to start putting up the Halloween, or not, shit. Oh my God. I think I'm going to start putting up the Christmas stuff now. I don't think I'm ready to fully transition into Christmassy yet, but I think I'm going to at least get like the tree put up. I think some stuff should linger from the previous holiday. Like, honestly, I think that bones are a completely appropriate Christmas decoration, because I guess to me, Yule is like, this is the time of quiet. This is the time of retreat. It is kind of the time of like death and, just like a lack of growth and like stagnation and stuff. And yeah, Yule and Christmas are about, gathering around the fire, burning against the cold with our families and remembering the light. But it is a dark time of year. And so I do kind of think that certain aspects are appropriate. I do an anti-misogyny show and have otherwise streamed for 5 years, and I get full panic just having an unpredictable man in my chat, let alone in person. That's fair. Get you a horse skull and crown it with flowers from Mary Lude. Yeah. Grimace, grimace, grimace. I really want more, and this is the kind of shit that I can't easily justify, I have a lot of stuff that's on my list of stuff that I would like to buy or like need to buy or whatever. And I would I want more skulls. Look at this guy. Isn't this so fucking cute? It's a bobcat skull, and I love it. And I want, gotta be careful with those inner nose parts. But look, it's so cute, and I want more. I want more skulls, and I want wet specimens. I don't have any wet specimens, but I would like to have some wet specimens. I want to be a creepy house full of creepy things. My beautiful boy. My beautiful little boy. Yes, yes, yes. Pat, pat, pat. Honestly, if I had known that Lucy was going to die like a week before he died, I might have tried to get him. I might have tried to keep his skull. I feel like I would get comfort from that. I do have a little bottle of his nail sheds and whiskers right here, and his ashes. I also have his ashes in here, but I love skulls and bone art so much. I know. Have you seen these before? Have you seen my rat bone earrings? This is a rat jawbone, and I have one on each side. I also have a muskrat jawbone that's like this long, and it's very satisfying. I'm just not wearing it today. I do bone art. It is awesome. Yes! I love it. I probably would do it myself if I had the space for it as well. You might be able to get some of this stuff for free from local farms, or if you befriend some hunters. That's fair. I also want to hunt. So things like squirrel parts and things. I need to get new arms for my bow if I'm going to be hunting like that. My bow arms are not strong enough. This is a 25-pound bow. I need a 40-pound bow in order to use a bow. I also would like to get like a rifle, a little 22, so that I can hunt small game. But that's all, that's completely luxury. That's not necessary at this time. I need to 3D print decorations and stuff. I realize now that I've mostly printed hundreds of gnomes and lots of functional junk for work. Yes, my partner was like, you can 3D print Christmas tree ornaments. And I was like, oh, dang, I hadn't even thought about that. And he was like, as you can imagine, there is quite a large selection. Sure, I can imagine there's quite a large selection. I want to get some baubles. Just some of those little small baubles. Julius Caesar, hello. Bones are on theme with death and such for winter, but I hate doing much Xmas type decor because it can just make a cold and bleak time of year feel even more so, which is not great for mental health. So I keep my cozy fall stuff all year. That's fair. That's fair. It has to feel good no matter what. So finding a thing that feels good. You know who you should hook up with? Vulture Culture. There's got to be some network of folks in your area who are collecting roadkill for the meat and bones and hides. Yeah, I just don't have I guess yeah, if somebody is like, I cleaned this deer skull and I need to get rid of it, you know, sure. That's an interesting thought though. Vulture Culture? I'm going to see what I can turn up on a Facebook search here. Okay, well, Vulture Culture is a band, I think. That's a band. What if I just look up Vulture? Is this like a subreddit? Okay, Vulture Culture is a subreddit. I gotta find out if there's like a local chapter in Portland. This person made hairpins out of a deer antler. So that's pretty cool. That's neat. Someone put their own uterus in a jar. That's pretty gross. That's fun, though. I'll join this subreddit. I will. That's fun. Oh, gosh. I haven't decided how long of a show. Hey, we got to 100 likes. DM me some ideas. Yes, please do. I'm hitting that point in the stream where, like... Well, you know what? I'm just going to take a little break, and we'll probably only go for another, 45 minutes, but I just really need to pee. So I will... go pee and then be back in a few minutes. Don't go anywhere or I will cry. Okay. Okay, that was a short break. Just needed to go pee and refill my water. Oh my gosh, why did this go away? Come back. Okay, there we go. There you all are again. Hey. Hey, dudes. Hey Jude is such a repetitive song, TBH. Like, why is this song 7 minutes long? This song could have been 3 minutes long and you would have hit all of the same things. Regardless. Here's the thing that I've randomly been thinking about the last couple of days. So I'm pretty sure that I have PCOS, and I've been pretty sure about that for a long time. I started getting chin hairs before I ever started testosterone treatment, so... And I've always had, like, really irregular cycles, and sometimes I'll be like, why am I bloating for, like, 3 weeks? It feels, it's like, is, like, this the normal amount of bloating that I might get related to a period, but why is it going for 3 weeks? Am I pregnant? What the fuck is going on? So... I'm realizing that that might also be like insulin resistance, which can happen with PCOS. And like, because I have POTS, I already probably should be laying off the carbs. But I am also wondering if like, it's like the refined, processed aspect of those things. Like, I have these, yeah, this is from yesterday. I have this like Quest protein cookies. But it's like, does that give me bloating? Like, so I think that I'm going to actually have to switch to like trying like a more whole foods diet and less processed stuff. Go back to buying the protein things that I was getting before that are all natural ingredients or whatever. And I feel a little bummed out about it because like these are so convenient, these little cookie things, but I don't know what the problem is. I was like so uncomfortable last night trying to watch the movie with my partner. I was like super bloated and I randomly got like, I didn't like feel nauseated, but my mouth like did that thing with the saliva when you're about to throw up where it's like, it's really thin and there's a lot of it. And I just hated it. It was really uncomfortable. So now I'm sitting here going like, I gotta change my diet. It's fucking annoying. Being in your 30s is so hard, you guys. Like, I'm in my 30s and it's so hard. I said the term Schrodinger's penis during a video recently, and I was kind of thinking about putting that on a coffee mug. Or just like Schrodinger's eggplant, maybe. I don't know how many people would buy it, though. So it's about to be Christmas time. How does this work? Can we do green and red? Does this make sense? It's Christmas. It's green and red. Or I could do blue and silver. Also an option. Come on, girl. Come on now. Come on now. See? Like blue. Hold on. Blue and silver for Christmas. Right before my colitis kicked in. Yeah. I think I was just uber too full. But I'm wearing fall colors, so it doesn't feel right for us to switch completely to Christmassy colors now. Let's go back. Go back to green. That's comfortable. That's familiar. This is the amount of colors that I have to work with, by the way. That's all I got. I don't know if I might be lactose intolerant. I already have reduced the amount of dairy I consume by quite a lot. Not even really intentionally, per se. But, like, I've switched to soy milk because my lipids were high the last time I got blood work done. And I was like, you know, this is just a really easy switch that I can make. It doesn't affect me at all. Lactose intolerance is extremely common, and a lot of GI issues are just lactose intolerance. Yeah. I like to eat yogurt. I know yogurt has pretty low lactose. Cream cheese has a ton of lactose in it. Obviously, like, cheese has lactose in it. I think butter also has lactose in it. Or does butter have... how much lactose? All dairy products. And the fix here is just take a lactase enzyme pill if you ever eat dairy. Yeah. I want to look. What is the lactose content of different dairy products? Oh, hell yeah, dude. Parmesan cheese has almost no lactose in it. Cheddar cheese has... Okay, so these cheeses, these like hard cheeses are not too bad in terms of lactose content. Then you get into like cream cheese obviously has quite a lot. And then cream, ice cream, ricotta cheese. Oh, yogurt. Like, oh, great. Wait, hold on. Yogurt has a ton. Wait. Does that include Greek yogurt? Regular milk has the most in it. Wait, I thought I was under the impression for some reason that my Greek yogurt... I'm gonna fucking cry if I can't eat Greek yogurt. Okay, it has a lot less than milk and regular yogurt for Greek yogurt. Ugh. Whew. I've been doing stuff... Okay, so I discovered this life hack recently, which is that you can substitute Greek yogurt for like almost anything that could be even remotely similar. Sour cream, substitute Greek yogurt. Ranch, so I've done this recently. I'll be eating some chips, like the unhealthy chips, and I'm like, okay, well, I want to make this like a little bit better than what it is that I'm doing. So I will get a little bowl, I'll put Greek yogurt in it, a pinch of salt, and I'll sprinkle some garlic powder and mix it all up in there, and eat the chips with the yogurt. And it's so fucking good. And then also recently I cut up a cucumber and I got a really, really small amount of Greek yogurt, and I actually bought a thing of ranch seasoning. So I put the ranch seasoning in the yogurt, and I basically had like cucumbers with ranch, but it was fucking yogurt. High protein, low fat, good stuff. Just take lactase pills. All right. You know what? I'll try it out. I'll put it on my Amazon list. I'll just get some lactase pills and we'll see if that changes my whole shit. Literally. Ha. That was a joke. I didn't mean to. Ha ha. Oh no. Fucking shoot me. Hello, Cliff. How you doing? I still feel drained after a big weekend at Rising Tide, and I still have a bit of a headache that started yesterday. I heard what you were talking about just now. Yeah, probably just try diet changes and see how you feel and try to see what works. Yeah. It probably won't hurt anything to be like, I'm going to eat cleaner. But so my issue is, I don't know if it's a lactose intolerance or maybe it's like a highly processed flours intolerance. Highly processed flours and carbohydrates and stuff can cause bloating, specifically in people with insulin-resistant PCOS, and I think that might be part of the problem that I'm running into. Okay, that is one that I was looking at, so I will keep that in mind. And there's a bunch of supplements that I'm trying to take right now. I'm trying to take iron every once in a while, but probably not now that I am not bleeding for 6 consecutive weeks. That was crazy. Vitamin D, I'm trying to take magnesium on a regular basis. I'm trying to take a multivitamin. I have a fiber vitamin gummy thing that I'm doing too. Being in your 30s is hard. It's really so sad. So sad. I cry. I cry because I'm so sad. Yeah, it was pretty terrible. I had like a regular one that was like a week, and that was normal, and then it stopped for a week, and then it was like, hi, would you like to have this for 6 fucking weeks? I was like, okay, great. And now it's just stopped, ? Like, I was like really easily crying and kind of horny earlier last week. So maybe I had a hormonal fluctuation that kind of reset the system, but I was about to be like, yeah, let me go get put back on birth control pills, even though I'm already on this thing, because it was too fucking much. Now I feel like a human person again. That's a human person. Me when my bleeding stops. That's a human person. I want to watch that again sometime. I should take the time today. Just rewatch. Oh my gosh, you guys. I just want to share because I'm feeling like a wholesome content moment. I've just been like, let me get some wholesome shit in here. Do you guys know Evan and Caitlin? They're the people who have been trying to encase a jack-o'-lantern in resin for like the past 6 years or so. They've like every holiday season, they have this, they do another one. They're like, oh, we haven't quite refined this process yet. And like, how are the old ones holding up and everything? They are also just like a really wholesome couple. And I enjoy them quite a lot. I've been watching a shit ton of their videos recently. It's very friendly noises to have in the background. Just very friendly sounds. Sweet people doing weird science stuff. It's very fun. They've also tried to encase a rose in resin to do like a Beauty and the Beast thing. Yeah, they do all kinds of fun stuff. And I appreciate that they have like a really strong safety culture around like resin. They will wear like the full on like face masks attached to a hose with a breathing apparatus on them. And yeah, they take it very seriously. And they seem real sweet. End of story. But also I find them so, I guess maybe this is just part of getting out of the funk of being in a depression, but I feel like more inspired in some ways. Emma, hello. I wonder if I should do a turnip one year just for the sake of historical accuracy. A carved turnip instead of a carved pumpkin. Anyway, what was I saying? I feel so inspired. Like, the fact that, like, Caitlin designs all of or a lot of their merchandise has me going like, oh, well, I should, like, work on my drawing skills. And then I won't need Dizzy to help me finish my logo. Or I won't need Dizzy to refer me to another human artist who is definitely not a bot to help me finish the logo. But I don't know. There's a lot of very basic things that I don't know. And so I don't want it to just look fucked up. Yes. Yay, inspiration. I know. I'm like feeling inspired to like, there's certain things about like decorating my house that I'm still like, I'm trying to drape curtains all in my bedroom and I want to, put stuff up around the windows and things. I'm a bad comm. It's okay. I love that you are full of ideas, Dizzy. You're not as great at like the execution on actually following through on a drawing, but you're really good at the ideas part. And I respect that. It's the ideas part that I don't understand, like color theory and stuff, or like how to do things or what you should be looking for and all this kind of stuff. So yeah, I kind of doubt my ability to become a very great artist. I know, Evan and Caitlin, couple goals. They're so sweet. And they seem like that is what they are like, actually. They seem like they are actually like that, even off camera. Maybe less exaggerated, of course, but they seem nice. They seem good. Watch things that make you feel good. This is my Hallmark channel right now. I have great ideas and a fuck ton of burnout and also bad health. Truly, yeah, legitimately. Like, I don't know if you were in here, Disney, when I was saying, like, I'm going to try to get a wedge probably to put under my entire mattress because it's supposed to help your orthostatic tolerance if your head is up higher. And I'm a side sleeper, so I need it to be the whole bed. I'm going to try to get my nose surgery done this year so that I can breathe through my nose because I think that might be part of why I was having sleep apnea. I've never woke up not being able to breathe when I've been wearing one of those things inside my face or one of these things like holding my nose open. So I used to bring my projects to completion and then my ex abused me. Yeah, it fucks up your ability to function or do anything. As an artist, you can totally learn. Your skills can grow. It just takes effort and patience. It does. It takes effort and patience. And what I want is to have the skill to just make the finished, fully amazing product right now and not have to spend months of learning. And that's the struggle. Is like you have to with the ADHD, like you have to commit to doing something and then do it for like several months, and that's so hard to maintain. We talked about the nose shit like last week. Yeah, I mean, 2 times in 1 week I woke up not breathing. Including one time where I was like in my dream not breathing for a second. So yeah, that's quite distressing. Humans are creative in so many ways, and we are capable of so many kinds of artistic expression. Never count yourself out. Tell yourself happy things about you. Yeah. I've been working on watercolor periodically. Again, I don't have a great space for art. So I guess, I could just get my tablet out and like draw here. I don't have a place to rest my tablet. I don't have a tablet thingy for leaning it. So yeah, a lot of it is just like not having the space for something or not having whatever adaptive technology I need to make it work for my situation. I made a big quesadilla. Yes, that sounds amazing. I did, I posted on Instagram. I've been posting on Instagram more recently if anybody wants to check it out. I have been posting at Luxander Moss on Instagram. But I took everybody does the turkey sandwich leftovers after Thanksgiving. And so what I did was I have some keto wraps. So it's like a tortilla, but like a high fiber, relatively low carb wrap, like a tortilla, right? And I put on there all 3 of the leftovers. I put the turkey on there. I put the green bean casserole and a little bit of the funeral potatoes. And then I put that all in the microwave and I wrapped it up and I ate it like a burrito. And holy fuck, it was so good. Oh my God, it was delicious. And that kind of reminds me about like quesadillas. Like I could also make a quesadilla with that. Tiny space is hard. I know it. Oh, also accountability. When you craft or do art while having ADHD, it helps to do it in a group. I get more shit done when I do my art with someone else. I need accountability buddies for a lot of things. I have genuinely considered recently like hiring a physical trainer, like not even for anything except like I need someone to be like, hey, did you do your fucking workout this morning? Hey, go do your workout if you didn't already do it this morning. Would I pay someone for that service? Yeah, probably. So it's kind of on a similar vein of needing an accountability person to get me to do things. And like I'm working through like a pretty severe social media addiction. Not severe, I guess is not the right word. I find it really difficult to not sit there and just scroll for like literally hours a day. So it's definitely not as bad as it could be. Hi, baby. But it's also not great. Oh my gosh, are you going to grab me? You're such a good boy. Are you a good boy? Yeah? Oh, you want to immediately get down, but you haven't paid the tax yet? Give me the kisses. Okay, good boy. Okay, I put you down. He's good. So yes, doing things with other people and getting my partner to hang out with me in the living room sometimes, like, and he'll be working on something and I'll be working on something. Oh goodness. Well, it is a little bit short for today, but I didn't eat beforehand and I'm starting to really feel that. And I still have to produce for the After Dark show later tonight. Who's going to be on? Who's on later tonight on the After Dark show? What even is this? This is November still. So tonight we have Paul and Javon. Cool. I don't get to hang out with Javon very often, so that's nice. Get to chill with the two of them. Oh my God, who's gonna host that? I guess Javon. They're both like passenger princesses. And I don't say that to be mean. It's just like they both are not very strong like lead hosts. Maybe Javon is more. I haven't seen Javon as much. Sandwiches and leftovers, truly. Yeah. I would high key buy YouTube Premium if it gave me the option to lock myself out of shorts. Yeah. Thumbnail has been replaced with Jimmy instead of Jovan. Not sure if Jovan is available. Oh, has it really? God damn it. They're not. I'm gonna go check that. They do this and they'll like not update the schedule. We have like a document that we all share for the schedule. Oh, yeah. Sure is. Call Pologia and Jimmy Snow. All right, well, no Jovan tonight. I guess I'm gonna fucking deal with Jimmy. We're friends. We razz each other. Everything's fine. Cool. Well, anyway, even more so, I have to reserve some of my energy to deal with Jimmy tonight, so I'm gonna probably get the fuck out of here and sit down for a bit and play some World of Warcraft and eat lunch and stuff. So I really appreciate everybody hanging out. I hope that you all had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Oh, and this upcoming week, I just want to update you guys really quick. I will be streaming on Wednesday, but I will not be streaming next Sunday because Arden is taking some time off, and so I need to do the Sunday show. So I'm going to do that. So I will see you all on Wednesday, but then I will not see you next weekend. So I hope that you all enjoy the wonderful beginning of the Christmas season. If you're the kind of person who wants to decorate, I hope you do that. And if you're in a place that's cold, I hope you bundle up. Hell yeah. Enjoy your Warcraft. I'm going to go play the cat game. Play the cat game! Oh, Jovan's not ready yet. Cool, yeah. Got new internet. Cool. All right. Well, love you all, and happy Christmas and happy Thanksgiving, and also happy fuck Christopher Columbus. And yeah, I'll see y'all next time.